Hey guys, and welcome to a slightly different, well, it's about in the middle, so basically, I'll be actually flying in X-Plane today, X-Plane 11, as opposed to usual FSX, and today we'll be flying from Minneapolis to LaGuardia in New York, so as I said, slight difference to usual, but overall, it could be quite interesting. We'll see what happens. So, we're in Delta Airlines 737-800s. This is the slightly modified default version, the 737-800X, as it's known as in the community. Basically, so it's a 737, but with like a modified everything to the point that it's a bit more realistic. The functionality on the inside is much nicer. So we'll set up the aircraft and we will see how far we get. So, not PMDG. In a way, it's a little bit more advanced. Some areas a little bit weaker in others, but flying on the X-Plane engines, so we should get like proper physics in terms of like winds, proper like airflow around the aircraft and so forth. I'll talk more about that in the flight. But yeah, we're flying on X-Plane 11 as opposed to hang on, trying to find something quickly. There we are. Yeah, flying on X-Plane as opposed to FSX, which I normally go for. So first thing first really is set the aircraft up and get us ready to go. So that is a little bit more self-explanatory in the normal setup. Otherwise, let's get the aircraft ready. So go over to FMC. Actually, I think we may have missed that. Basically, if you go back to start, it explains to you who made the model and how it works and so forth. So yeah, let's get the aircraft set up. So, position information, we will align the IRS, which is over here. So yeah, I do apologise for making a few mistakes here and there because, again, it's not what I'm normally used to. This is a bit different for me, so see what happens, how different it can be. One stream Adrianic Finney. Actually, I've got to turn on the chat. Do that now. So yeah, set the aircraft information up. So we are at Kilo Mike Sierra Papa. Kilo Mike Sierra Papa. Input that. Hang on, there we go. Gates are in C7. Charlie 7. And position is that. And now we will go over to ATT, input our heading, which is probably an easier way of doing this, but I'm using it here. So we are at 211. So I'll put it down here. 211. Stick it in the heading, and the aircraft should now be aligned. Bring that back to navigation. There we go. And there we go. So the aircraft now knows where it is. Alright, so now head up to routes, set up the flight plan. So our destination is LaGuardia, so that is Kilo Lima Golf, Kilo Lima Golf Alpha. Clear that again. Company route is, well, this is a bit of an interesting one because it doesn't exactly know how to do this. So you go to route menu, company route list, because I'm using different flight plans to what it normally likes, so it's a bit odd in this section. Okay, there you go. Flight plan has been set. So now go back to, no, keep it at that. No problem, Adrianic. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Yeah, that's a requested flight I did last night. So yeah, company route's been set. Flight number, we are Delta Lima. Hang on, clears that. Delta Lima 1596. And there goes there. Execute that. Make sure the route is set. That's fine. We will now go to. Hang on, go back. There goes. So yeah, here's the information if you're interested in it. So it's made by. This is the Zebo mod made by the RSM Development Group. Sound pack not found. Although that's the also modified one. Anyway, back to the FMC. And try and get to the runway settings. So yeah, company route offset. Flight number has actually disappeared again. It's Delta Lima. Don't worry about it, I don't mind it. I see any of these streams that people want. 1596. Flight number there. Runway, we are going to part 12 left. That goes there. That's fine. Flight route set. There we go. So, go to the next slide. Set the rate. So, ZFW goes there. Reserves, not getting any reserves. Cost index, we're using cost index of 14. Altitude, we are cruising at 35,350. And wind information is 287 by 047. 287 by 047. That goes there. So now go to N1 limit. Transition altitude to 18,000 as we are in the US. Takeoff. So we use 10 degrees of flaps. So center of gravity, bring that in as well. 8.8%. So there's the V speeds. That's what we're going to use the parts. Actually, to set up fuel properly, we go to flight configuration. Nope, it's not flight config. Go back out. I want to go to edit weight and balance. Fuel on board 2569 is perfect. So we're back into our flights. I don't think this simulates. Whoops. Yeah, I don't think this simulates so much the amount of cargo on the aircraft as well. The amount of weight. Actually, it kind of does. Because take off afternoon landing at night. So yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Like I said, I do these flights because I enjoy it. So I do YouTube in the first place. Hang on, payload weight is 174,200. I think it's a bit high. Yeah, that's definitely not going to be the case. What's the weight of this aircraft? If anything, we'll just put in our own random weights. Takeoff weight, that's in total. Hang on, so I want estimated 155,433. 155,4, so I'll take 9, 4, and then we need to add 15, 30 plus 3, 79.0. Right, execute that, and that should be our total weights for the flight. So okay, that's. Go back to fuel. Flight time, normal time, 2 hours 20. Flight time says 2 hours 4. How much extra would I get with that? Yeah, it's fine. Go back into the game, and if I go back to reserves, well, actually taking some reserves. No, I didn't really set up in the end. I'm just using the controller in the end. Right, perf reserves. Just taking 1. Back to the takeoff, and make sure the V. There you go. V numbers have changed. Right, so that's the aircraft setup. Go to departure. We are using the Colt 6 SID. Go to legs, and I want to do that. Execute that, and that's the SID setup, ready for departure. Yeah, looking fine. I believe we can now start the aircraft ready. So, RS spin the lines. We're on ground power right now. That's set. Let me just set the aircraft up ready to go. So, switch up here. So, anti-ice on. Probe heat's on. Hydraulics definitely on as well. APU bleeds. Hang on, these go off. Pack switch go off. APU switches say off for now. That's all fine. Window heat's on. That can close. And in a moment we'll be able to turn on the APU. So logo lights on, position lights on, anti-collision on. Make sure everything else is set. Fuel pumps on. Yes, I will be going to Poland this summer on holiday. Right, I do need to set to Unicom as well. That's another thing. Thank you very much for reminding me. Your diameter comes on. Battery's fine. If I switch it over to, which is the APU, that's fine. Battery's charged, that's fine. Window heating's otherwise on. It's on the APU. So yeah, like I said, could get a little bit of, as it's called, culture shock, basically, as though switching over to the X-plane as opposed to the PMDG. We're on X-plane for so long, as opposed to FSX. Otherwise, majority should be alright. What part? South, east? Towards, like, Rzeszów area. a moment for the AP to start up. Shouldn't mess anything up. Yeah, those are all off. That's all off. That should be fine. AP should start up in a moment, no problem. Hang on, fuel pumps are set. AP, right, AP generators, that nope. Hang on. It's probably something really obvious I'm just missing out, so I probably like left the switch unchecked or something. Cable light set, that's all set. VHF, yeah, I'm not. Again, it most likely is just something really obvious I've just messed up on. Here we go. So I didn't have ground power on, and now it's just battery running. Right, now aircraft AP should start up in a moment. Normally I know what I'm doing. In fact, just before I started streaming this, I just turned on the aircraft. No problem, just make sure I knew what I was doing. I genuinely am now just suffering a mind blank. What have I done wrong? Again, I know what I'm doing. That's all off, that's all off, that's all off. Try that then, shall we? Welcome to stream, Darren Elliott. How you doing? I just suffered the biggest mind blank I've ever had now. If you guys see what I'm doing wrong, please tell me. Hang on. Yeah, battery's on. We're on ground power. That's all fine. Yes, we're definitely on ground power. I don't see what the issue is. Right, bear with me, guys. This is... Yeah, that's all off. Pack switches are off, as they should be. They don't come on until the engines come on. AP bleeds. There we go. Low oil pressure. There we go. Finally. Right, AP is now starting up. So make sure everything is now ready to depart at the moment. So yeah, £5 set. That's all been sorted. Let's go over to here. So we're cruising at 35,000. That's 250. Switch over to Unicom 122.8. Already done that. And APU in a moment will be stabilised. There we go. Bring power into the aircraft. There we go. Now we're sorted. And come off. So let's get everything sorted. You're at the airport in Alicante. Oh right, yeah, you said you were flying out, weren't you? Well, yeah, have a good flight. Hope you enjoy yourself. Right, I go to 35,000. That's fine. Pressure lows. That's because the engines are off. So that in a moment. Otherwise, I believe we are now ready for pushback. There we go. We've now got some sounds as well outside. So yeah, I'm using the sound mod pack as well. The what's it called? Something. Alright, switch to a jammed position, meaning I can get on the AP bleeds. Alright, so we are now ready for hang on, control sometimes does that, right. I believe we're now ready for pushback. Everything else, yeah, everything else is sorted. It was just a case of that AP was being a bit 50-50. So, yeah, no FS passengers, none of that stuff. We are just on basic X-plane today. Let's start our pushback and get ready to go. That's it, Zebo mod and F mod. Right, so I'll do a pushback to the right. Release parking brake for him. And we'll start the engines up as well during pushback. I don't get why X-Plane does that as well. The camera sometimes just jumps. Alright, so turn that to ground. And assuming I still know what I'm doing, engine 2 should now come into life. There we go. I'm not totally hopeless. Alright, once that hits to about 2.5 to 3, we can turn on engine 2. Again, I don't know why X-Plane's camera jumps. There we go, so engine 2 can start up. So now switch on the starter for engine 1. There we go, parking brake set. Yeah, it's clashing with the camera right now. Anyway, engine 1 starting up. So it's 2.5, can turn on the fuel flow. There we go, just park up inside the building. Start the fuel flow for engine 1. Runway 12 right, so yeah, he's landing 12 right, I'm departing 12 left. Make sure flight directors are on. Hang on now, I can't even look left and right anymore with the controller. Whatever. There we go. So flight directors on, load of flaps to 4, 10 degrees. Let's do a flight surface check. All looking good. Whilst pack switches come on, both engines on, we can now bring power to the engines. APU can come off. All that time trying to turn on the APU, and now I don't even need it anymore. APU's off, pack switches on. That should be alright now. I'll go down to auto, that's fine. 55,000 sets. That's fine, so now turn on the taxi lights. Flaps are down. Final check, make sure everything's alright. Looking good. Let's taxi down to runway. Spine brakes off, increase throttle, and let's go. Hang on, IRS. Hang on, what have I done here? Yeah, both lines, there we go. All that will come back on, hopefully. Again, 5 minutes ago, I could set up the aircraft, take it off, no problem. There we go, set up position again, bring it over, and hopefully that should come back to life again. Hang on, sorry, set RS position. I also now need to set the anyway, back to it. RS position, and you set the heading, which is these two again. RS heading is 302. That goes there, and now the RS once again be aligned. Right, now can we taxi? Flight cons is on, you're damn on. There, now we can taxi to runway. Right, how's life? Not too bad. It's not too bad at the moment. I'm just in case now off in summer, doing a few streams, doing a few videos, just get everything set up on the channel. Anyways, let's get ourselves to the runway. Hang on, I've not used this escort box either, so things I need to figure out. First of all, the chat box is one thing I need to look at. Preferences. Yeah, Twitch talk is T. Right, do you know where Madrid Airport is? Yes. And how you doing, Brady Brother 100? How you doing? Right. Toggle text T is tab. Oh, right. Okay. So tab. Nope. Obviously not. Toggle text T. There you go. Enter text T. Return. Ah, there we go. Right. So we are Delta Airlines. Hang on, I forgot to use call code. So we are just tax. I can't. Can you not do a capital T on this? Can't do a T at all. Right. Taxiing to. Can't do a T. That's now you got a problem. You can't type a T. Runway 12 left. Axing O, runway 12 left. Right, can't type a T. I have to try and remember that. Set this as a numstar, will do. Alright, aircraft, nope, sorry, plugins, export box. Set up preferences. Set that to, sorry, sign, start. Okay, alright, thank you very much for that. I'm just going to press T now. There we go. Much better. Thank you very much for that. Alright, so get back onto the taxiway. Now we focus on what we're doing. So yeah, Delta Airlines 737-800s from Minneapolis to LaGuardia in New York. Flight time will be about 2 hours 4 minutes. And it should be a decent flight. It's going to be a bit stormy as we depart, but heading towards New York it should get clearer. And hopefully there should be sunny skies once you arrive in New York. Get some decent swimming out of that. Also try to look for the Off-Road 4XP tiles add-on, which is basically like the FSF tiles for X-Plane, but that takes a bit too long to set up. So for now I'm using default scenery, although hopefully by next time, if/when I do X-Plane, things should start looking a bit nicer for me then. Hang on, wait. There's one of these keys set to IRS as well, now I've just messed up again. Let's go off again. Need to realign this. It's not going to be a running thing to this flight. Do like the T key do this or something? Right, so let me realign this IRS. Heading is now at 633. Hang on, we are also rolling. Set the parking brakes. So it's 3031. Now please IRS, can you stay? Because I'm getting bored of setting this up every time now. And your dampener can come back on again. Prime brakes off. Let's get back on taxiing. Right, so I'm actually going to have to go on the grass now at this point, because I've rolled a bit too far. Again, every time I fly X-Plane, every single time this happens. Do I want this to keep happening? Not really, but... there we go, that should help us a bit. I'm gonna get back on the taxiway and let's just please depart this airport without any more issues. Yeah, just idle both throttles now and bring both together. And now please tell me the aircraft is stuck, is it? Right, just try and get the aircraft off this grass if possible. Welcome to stream, guys. Welcome to the stream. I really don't know what to expect anymore of this. Again, every single time I use an X-Plane, I mean, like I said, 5 minutes ago I want to just make sure I know what I'm doing. Yes, the aircraft works fine. I can easily turn on the IRS, I can easily depart, get onto the flight plan, you name it. Then I start streaming after I've done all the checking, make sure everything works. And then, of course, the simulator now goes and collapses around me. Right, so we'll hold here. Let's set over to the landing lights now so that we're departing. And off we go. So that can come back up. Press enter. Departing. EMSP. Runway 12 left. Alright, increase throttle and let's just go. I have to say, by not having like the same FSX ground friction bug as FSX, it's not exactly the fastest in terms of taxiing this thing. So you have to put a bit of throttle in just for it to move. Hope you're having a great day. I was having a great day, and then I started streaming. Alright, turn on the auto throttle so that I can then switch over to N1, which will give me the takeoff speed. Otherwise, let's turn that on, and off we go. V1 rotates. Hang on. There we go. Positive climb gear up. It's a bit laggy from I will say actually. It's not the greatest frame rate feedback. Anyways, let's go for the autopilot now, shall we? I now can't even look over to the right to turn on autopilot. Right. Come on, try and set the VNav. I'm fighting this camera now. Again, because my controller now doesn't even look right I don't know anymore. Anyways, we now departed. Let's carry on flying, shall we? Right, so we're up, and we made it, I guess, in the end. So, yeah, a few things I need to work on. I need to work on the, what's it? I need to work on the RRS, because that's something I did slightly mess up with. Again, 5 minutes ago, when I was testing this, all works fine. Hang on, now I want to deactivate one of these things as well. So if we go to settings, just want to go to joystick, and just get rid of this control here. So not patrol, not that. View left, right, and just get rid of that. So I'll stick to normal keyboard, mouse looking around. There you go, much better. Although it still, no, it still centers it. It's not sure what's conflicting. Something else conflicting. It's not the key. It's not the controller. See, look, does it again. Yeah, I still need to look into X-Plane, so much I did in FSX. FSX, I spent years like working on the config and so forth. X-Plane, this is still fairly new to me, so most likely it's just going to be down to experience and my own working on it. But eventually, I will get this stuff sorted out. That gets into locked position, and everything should be all right now. Yeah, I will say, for a default aircraft, the X-Plane 737 isn't too bad, I will say. It's nice and detailed, in-depth. Then you got the mods that people have just basically added, and the aircraft now is absolutely fantastic with all these mods, I will say. Very nice to fly, so fingers crossed that should be good for us to fly now. Otherwise, let's just get this in the air now. Here we go now, our flight plan, I did that last time. For crying out loud, I can't look right. So we should go to heading select a moment, and then go back to LNAV in a moment. It's not my mouse, I'm using a different mouse, I'm using a backup mouse this time. Because the scroll wheel on any flight simulator would not be helpful. See, I'm using a backup mouse right now. Nope, keep it on that then, because it now takes me a bit off course. Otherwise I can now go to legs, and there we go. Do I have anything else looking left and right? Yeah, I don't care about that. Any of the hat switches maybe? That's no, that's that. Keyboard, anything for looking around on there? No, WSD keys do it as well. Navigation, operation, views. Quick look, nope, hang on. Yeah, not that, manipulate views. Yeah, so arrow keys do that, and I believe it's WSD with this around as well. Q, E, F, R, yeah. I'll see what happens. There you go, like, it's doing it again. Some weird centering issue with X-Plane, I don't know about. No, I'm using my old Dell mouse that came with this thing. Yeah, there are those view bindings. The thing is, again, I don't know X-Plane. I've been flying FSX for about 10 years now. 9, 10 years. I'm used to that, so this is all new to me. I have to work on it before I can get any decent at it. So like the basics for it, fair enough, you're flying an aeroplane, but haven't looked at every single setting just yet, so bear with me. There you go, hand switch up, down, left, right. That's got nothing to do with actually looking around though, because look, they're not set to anything. Record keystroke. The only things that's set up here are these, and none of these are controlled. Zoom in, zoom out, all that. Yeah, it's nothing to do with the actual looking around, but for some reason, whenever I look straight, there you go, it just locks it forward. Just locks it forward. If anyone else can explain what's going on here, please do, because I don't know why it likes to lock itself forward. And when it does, it just becomes a bit of a pain. Exterior is fine, doesn't it? On the exterior view. Exterior can look around and do whatever I want, but on the interior view, please stop making me look forwards half the time. Anyways, seatbelts and lights set to auto, we should leave that. Everything else should be alright. Flight time's about 2 hours. Let's go back to settings quickly. Move that out of the way. That can't be the case. Look, if I do that, record keystroke. Okay, fair enough. Button 15. This is just being weird now. Go to joystick. So if I go to hat, there you go. Hat switch don't do anything. So trim up, trim down, all that kind of stuff. But because there is no key assigned to them, it shouldn't be doing this. Camera messing around. I mean, having them both set to the same system, that's been fine before. Look left, right. Hang on, let's go for... which one is it? Camera... There you go, view, left, right. See, having that, so that's been fine for... Basically, since I got the simulator. But just for now... Don't think that's the case either, because I'm sure plenty of people use Xbox controller with this game. Back onto the LNAV, and the aircraft should now be should be back on course. So yeah, sometimes it does that as well. Gets to the first waypoint, flies off course a bit. Go ahead and go back. Again, don't know my way around the simulator properly. Eventually I will learn around it. Yeah, it's another thing I'm not a massive fan of. The right click, if you double click it, it's right. It then lets you lock on the camera. Don't like that myself. Anyways, let's just carry on focusing on flight, shall we? Does the camera not rotate either, so the whole wow. Right, so the aircraft rotates left and right, but your camera doesn't move. Your camera stays at its upright position. Again, it's not going to do anything to... Well, that solves that then. It's the add-on that's doing it. Fly with lure, fly with lure, that's doing it. Now I've got no problem looking around. There you go, I could do that, no problem. Right. Fly with lure is my issue. Made things a lot easier. Is it now going to give me that lure stop towards mark on the top of the screen for the rest of the flights? So if I turn that back on, hang on, reload all lure scripts, fly with lure warning data, should have been indexed to 0. Yeah, fly with lure looks like it's completely bugged itself out, so that's my problem. stop lure engine, and that comes back to life. Right, so yeah, fly over lure is the issue. I'll reinstall that later then. Right, so that's standards. We're past 18,000. I should turn that off earlier as well, but focusing too much on the problematic systems. Not focus on that anymore. Otherwise, there we go. All should be back to normal now. We can try to enjoy the rest of this flight, shall we? So yeah, explain default scenery. I'll try and get the off-road 4XP add-on scenery at some point installed as well. But for now, the default stuff should be alright. So anyway, we can get rid of that watermark lure stops, because that's just going to bug me as well. Yeah, completely stop it if it's whatever. There's no point anymore. I'm not going to win with this, aren't I? Try to resume lure engine, not recommended. We'll see what happens. Go back inside. Hang on, I need to actually go to the movie camera one. Yeah, just ignore it. Just ignore it. We'll figure out next time what happens. There we go, all looking good. Departure time, so yeah, departed 3 minutes earlier than planned. Departed at 1600 Zulu, departed 1557 Zulu, that's fine. ETA will be 1604 Zulu, so 2 hours and 4 minutes till we arrive at, it's more like 1 hour 50 now till we arrive at New York. So yeah, we'll carry on the flights, hook onto the ILS when we come into land, pick a star, and see that one takes us into. Don't think there'll be any active towers. There sometimes aren't too many. Hang on, let me just do a check if there are any active towers on in the US at the moment. Go to Vatastic. So yeah, don't think there'll be any active towers. Should we just clear flight for me across the entire flights. And unfortunately I've now got no viewers left. Okay, I've got a feeling they all may have left after the catastrophe departure that was. Again, with the X-Plane community, I can't seem to get it right. FSX, fine, that's pretty standard. Cannot seem to win with the X-Plane guys. It's a bit of a shame, but what can I say really? Still got a lot of work to do with this. Although one thing I will say I do like about the simulator is the fact that if I do tab out, I can check my notes and stuff. The simulator doesn't kick you out, which is a nice extra thing for it. So yeah, there's no towers. Actually, ooh, there is someone in New York. I'm not sure which on the airport, so if it's LaGuardia or JFK. K-Boss, KSPM. Nope, not them. Yep, the New York airports do not have tower. 3 departures and no arrivals to LaGuardia. Strange, I should have a setup for LaGuardia. It's because Vasim thinks I'm flying to JFK. No, I don't think I put the wrong. I'll send flight plan. Right, I have, haven't I? Okay, sorry, I do apologise. I need to go to LGA. I'll send that instead. Check, aircraft type 738. Transmit and receive, send, right. That should be a bit better for me. So now, if I double check, now flight information, hopefully, if it hasn't now gone kaput, should in a moment's change to correct systems. Nope, not just yet. So yeah, if anyone's still watching the stream, I've only got 2 viewers at the moment. One on Twitch, one on YouTube. How are you guys doing? Alright, 2 other aircraft in Minneapolis now, just after we departed. Otherwise, ourselves, we are now flying over Misha Moakwa, over the 5 Mile Bluff Prairie State National Area. If we go outside, yes, this explains default ground scenery. Again, if I had off-road tiles installed, it should look a bit better. But for now, default scenery shouldn't do too bad. I mean, compared to FSX, again, default scenery is not too bad as a simulator. Yeah, so again, X-planes aren't perfect yet, so for example, no contrails, or there are contrails, that's what it is, just a massive grey smoke. So yeah, they're still very much in development of the game, hopefully that will eventually be fixed. Otherwise, some of the minor details the game does give you, such as the heat back of the engines, that is quite a nice addition. And just the ground scenery as well, so the default ground scenery is also pretty good. It doesn't have some features, like seasons is one thing that you'll never get in X-Plane, so basically as a thing, like X-Plane has never had seasons, and like that's just X-Plane, so they probably never will add seasons in the end. So seasons is one thing you'll never see in X-Plane, and another thing you'll never see in X-Plane, a sound engine, basically, so they have updated some sound in the new simulator, but for a whole you won't really see too many like sound changes as time goes on, because the default sounds is X-Plane. So I guess what likes people listening to, like just the usual default X-Plane. So 2 things that you'll never really see: seasons and major sound changes. So again, some planes do have decent sound now, such as the new default Cessna, but otherwise most sounds will be done by mods. And likewise also the mod for seasons as well, the season changer. So as the game goes on, as the community grows, things should improve, but as it stands, X-Plane will stay as X-Plane. So, thing is, alright, so I very much fly FSX quite a lot. FSX is my main simulator, go-to simulator, but some people, hang on, time of day is, it's early morning in the US right now. It's about 11 o'clock in the US. So yeah, I'm very much an FSX thing. I've got like hundreds of quid worth of add-ons for FSX over 10 years and so forth. That's all building up. So do I make the switch to X-Plane? Do I keep my FSX as it is, my add-ons, or do I throw it all away and move to X-Plane? I mean, the other thing is I could also like link the 2 together, so I like an X-Plane series and an FSX series, like switch between the 2, which is a possibility, as one request I have got is like a Dangerous Approaches kind of series where I fly to different airports, different parts of the world. So again, all possibility. We'll see what happens for the channel. This is a modified default 737, so this is using the modified cockpit pack by Zebo. So the Zebo mod default 737, and I'm using a sound pack as well by someone else, which puts different sounds into the aircraft. So yes, default aircraft, but modified with 2 different mods. Better cockpit and new sounds, and I'm using the default Delta Airlines exterior livery. So as I say, I could stick to X-Plane, sorry, I could stick to FSX, or I could start making the change to X-Plane, depends what people want. I still got to learn X-Plane, so there's many things I still need to learn. For example, the IRS and turning the aircraft on, that was a disaster. One of the worst starts off for an airplane in a long time. But we got it in the end, and yeah, still got to learn a bit of X-Plane and sorting it out. or I could make the transition to stay at FSX, stay at the safe spot, and just link them to. How's the cat? The cat's fine. The cat is fine. So yeah, hey, right, I got a few viewers back. You guys starting to come back after my horrible attempts at taking off. How you guys doing? You enjoying it so far? Any questions? Feel free to ask. If you want anything to know, just again, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer anything. Again, I'm not perfect at explain, so I've got a long way to learn, but as a first go in a while, it's not the worst in the world. And at least I now know that it was the lure add-on, Fly with Lure, which was causing the camera glitching for whatever reason. So that I need to sort out. 15 knots, plus 5 winds on landing. Sure, and what's the active runway landing actually? What's the landing runway at LaGuardia at the moment? So that'd be good to know. Which runway they're landing at, so I can set an arrival as well later on. Welcome to stream, Bob Barnes, how you doing? How you doing? Sure, I'll look at flight radar 24 in a moment. Welcome to Oblivion, welcome to Explain, how you doing? Alright, Guardia. Let's go to New York then. New York LaGuardia Airport. Now zoom in, it's the one up north, just by the coast. Right, so they are landing at... You know what, there's no aircraft actually landing at the moment, they're all just flying by. Here you go, one's coming to land at LaGuardia. A very weird approach. Yes, it's on VATSIM, this is on X-Plane using VATSIM. Right, so they're using, whatever runway this up north, the southern heading runway. LaGuardia, yes, X-Plane 11. And yes, I'm on VATSIM, so I could go to plugins, export box. This is your VATSIM stuff. Anyone online? Yeah, got 3 aircraft nearby. We've got a Delta Airlines 1838 Alpha, and then we have 2 towers, KMSP ATIS, and what's that? MSP. Hang on, whereabouts are they then? Yes, going to Google Maps now. Just want to see. Are you a tower or are you just another person? The frequency was not there before. That's new. Right, so we are landing on. This is a modded default aircraft. So it's based off the default 737 on this game, but I've got a modified virtual cockpit and sound pack. But yes, this will be free. Right, so there you go. So they are landing on runway 22 today. Runway 22 and fantastic. Who's this frequency? He is a... let's go find our aircraft. Minneapolis. Oh right, so they are now Minneapolis towers just after we depart. There's 2 also arrivals coming in later on. Probably while I've gone onto it. See, there is a plane just south of us. Now I don't think you can can you actually like jump to other aircraft? I mean, I know you can. So like FSX, not what I'm talking about. Like, you can just go with the other aircraft. Don't think you can explain so much. Doesn't really matter if you can't. Just be a nice extra little feature. Traffic paths. If I need to. Whoops. No, actually, ooh, that's new. Oh yes, the developer source basically show traffic paths. So any AI traffic. So yeah, that's my aircraft's position, frequency or sonar. And if there's any other aircraft in the area, I'll be able to see like where they're going and where they're flying to. Hide that. And where was the flight path one? There's a good flight path one, shows you where you're flying to. Control deflections, if I'm moving up and down, so forth. Weapon guidance, don't need weapon guidance. Projection parameters, no. Actually, no for that one. Yeah, there are a few extra tools with an X-plane which I actually don't mind too much. I do like movie camera as well. Bit of movements. Where is it? Air controls aircraft views. Air controls your views. That'd be quite interesting for sitting back and letting the simulator do its own work. Well, it's gone first of all the most disappointing of views. Is it automatic cycle or? Oh yeah, it is automatic cycle. Just stop this pinging. So every few seconds it'll just move the camera around. So basically chase plane. Actually, the cameras, I will say, the cameras in X-plane are not too bad either. So coming in from FSX at X-plane, the cameras and the views and all that kind of stuff, they are generally a bit better. Also, I can press C and go into free camera view. Again, contrails, not exactly the greatest thing in the world in the simulator. Those can be improved. Oops, so right, still on active camera. Hang on, let's go to that. Press C again, and let's try and chase the aeroplane. Man, those contrails, seriously. Again, while I do generally have a bit of praise for X-plane, like what it's done, how well it works, its contrails are such a... they're just mental. Massive grey smoke coming out the back of the plane. It's the only real downside to that, and the AI is not exactly great in X-plane as well, but... again, actually flying with VATS in, that takes care of that problem anyway. So yeah, it looks fine. Ah, right, it's these ones, I believe. I'm going to do a review quickly again. And let's see what we can do with the developers. So yeah, not traffic paths, data output graph. Nope, don't care about that. One flight model cycle, no. Generate icons, no. Reload scenery, no. Okay, to me these ones. So stability constants, nope. What's that? Like lines that shows you all flight surfaces and how the airflow around the aircraft goes. Which one is that one? Yoke visibility is fine. Engines, electricals. Nope, I cannot find it. Ground handling, that's fine. What's the flight number? I am Delta Airlines 1596. 1596, 1596. Do you want how to change contrail textures? Yes. If I can find out how to do that myself, I'll definitely change contrail textures. Get a video on that. Again, the default contrails are not exactly anything to be proud of in this game. Clouds are also... actually, clouds are improved. Originally on the beta... yes, that's a default contrail. Originally on the beta, the clouds were shocking. Nah, they've actually kind of improved the clouds, they're not too bad now. Still not my pay-aware clouds in FSX, but what can I say, really? And you know, you never know, like I said, I might eventually put some time into this, get some decent aircraft sorted. I mean, if I go to flight configuration, I do have the flight factor 767, which actually is a decent aircraft to fly as well. Do you also have the, what's it, it's the, I forget who makes it, but the 787. That one, not so good. Let's just leave it at that, shall we? That one, not so good. Then again, I've done a review for the 787. That one's out on flightsim.com. The 767, that's coming out in the next few weeks. But yeah, I've done a review for both of these. Anyways, let's carry on flying, shall we? So, yeah, well, that's set, that's fine. Flight system is set. The IRS is still aligned, so I don't have to deal with that problem anymore. And yeah, overall, flight time shouldn't be too bad. In about 2 hours, I'll come into land. Top of all that should be visible on the PFD, no problem. Yeah, so I've got a fair bit of flying left to do today. Yeah, it's in weather transition. So yeah, I've got real world weather set on that. Well, that's not the most realistic transition in the world, but it's alright. Again, it does the job. That's really what you just need. So we have reached cruising altitude, 35,000. Have we? Yes, we have. And flight time again shouldn't be too bad. So, anyway, arrival time was 5 past, wasn't it? Arrival time was 5 past 6. So if it's now half past, we've got about an hour and a half left till arrival at New York, LaGuardia. Again, that's where X-Plane should actually be quite decent when it comes to New York scenery. Flying 25, looks like we're flying down left wind and come around for 22. Actually, it might be worth even just setting that up now simply. So if we go to arrivals, just elite set ILS 22 for now, and stars. Are there no stars here? Alright, fair enough. Right, I'll set that then, just in case. Make sure the legs are set. And we should set the plan steps. There's no... So there should be stars at LaGuardia. Start up that in-flight movie. Yeah, like... Actually, because, yeah, it's Delta Airlines. Not sure how their services work in the US, because I've never flown with them, but... Hang on, let me just zoom out a bit. Because one thing I want to check is how does Yeoman link onto... Beauty. So you got... Sorry, link onto Proud. Yeah, that's how you know you're in New York. When you get... So these are just your generic VOR points and waypoints. So Mark, Biley, Vibes, FJC, Lizzie. Then you're in Beauty, Harlem, Dreams, Apple, Proud. That's when you know you're in New York. So yeah, how does Proud link onto Yeoman? Love this. So Proud's, then Yeoman is right at the end of that. Right, so if we bring Yeoman across there, then it's back to... Hang on, yeah, execute that. Hang on, that should be like that. Yeah, execute that. There we go. Nope, it's not doing it again. Whatever. CS into Yeoman. Ah, right, okay, because there is no real path I can make on that. Coming to land at 22, so if I can find maybe another waypoint just to the left, I can then bring the aircraft around, so are there any waypoints outside? Yeoman, Greco, yeah, if I can get, because there's no stars again, like I said, there should hopefully have been a star at LaGuardia, because I doubt they don't have stars here, so approach will be a bit... It won't be bad, but which means I've got to figure out what I'm doing here. So, mode, I want... Bring it out, and let me just look at... Is there a map which gives me waypoints? It's not like FSX, that was a decent one, but hang on. VOR map New York. NAV for LaGuardia. Hopefully NAV should give me some decent place. Unicom, that's fine. Where is it? Runway 22. Yeah, there are stars here. We've got Gatby, Harp, Corey, Milton and Nobby, but unfortunately for me, this aircraft doesn't know they exist, so I'll just have to figure out what I'm doing around that. I'll just try and find a waypoint along that route. What can I do? Dreams? So yeah, I can't go from Dreams to Yeoman. That's what does it think the airport is? Go back to the legs. Right, I'll go step by step. So step. Alright, yeah, there's runway 22. Zoom out again. There's Harlem, there's Dreams. I'll erase that, just completely erase it. Arrivals, erase. Yeah, there you go. Get rid of that completely. So there's... the top percent's not going to be there either. Departure arrivals. Aircraft we know we're going to. Yeah, LaGuardia, LGA. Get rid of Gatby. So Harlem Dreams. Apple Proud. Previous. So Harlem Dreams, Apple Prouds. KLGA. Just do that in there for now then. So yes, hang on, so let's go back step by step. So we're on Central, Worcester. Have we diverted off at some other points? I don't get this system. It's not the nicest FMC in the world. I don't think it is a default one, so I can't really complain. Izzy, Beauty, Harlem, Dreams, Apple, Prouds. And nowhere, we just hook around again. Where's how I've now got? Right, so is there anything I can... what's that one that's just come out of nowhere and causing me to loop around? Let me delete that. Welcome stream, Tyler Seaton, how you doing? What's that one up north of MIP? That's the actual airport itself. So delete that. Delete the airports. Execute. Okay, this is going to be in... I get this sometimes, hang on, so that comes to there, executes, so route discontinuity. Hang on, delete all these, so delete, hope you like your phone dials, because you're going to hear that a few times now. Now I can't delete these ones either. On the next page, right, so yeah, that's the start of it, so delete that, execute, delete that, execute. Midget to unknown. Yeah, that's fine then. Hang on, just check the zoom out. I'm doing this now and not 5 minutes from arrival, because this would just be painful. I genuinely don't know what I'd be doing at this point. Hang on, delete the actual airport waypoint as well, because that looks like it's messed up the entire thing. Executes, deletes. Yeah, anytime you see the airport appear, delete. It's put in so many places. Executes. Delete MIP. Okay. Delete dotted lines. Executes. Although it's not deleted them. So what's the point giving me the delete option if I can't actually delete it? Invalid entry, so I can't actually put it there anyway. Don't like this FMC, I do not like it at all. Can I even set a new flight plan? Hang on, let me see if it's possible to reset the whole thing. No. It's route menu. Let me just start afresh, so... there we go, is that plane loaded? I really don't know anymore. We're not going to turn around and go back, are we? Legs. Okay, I think that's fine, so we are going to go back on path at the moment. Problem is I don't know where, because it's making little sense to me at the moment. And delete that. Come on, just go heading down for now. So I can figure out what I'm doing to the flight plan, because again, I have now got no clue what I'm doing or where I'm going. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I don't even know where I am right now. Check that. Right, so we are... Right, so we're over Milwaukee, over right now, heading towards Michigan. Right, okay, so that bit I now know where I am, so we've got plenty of flight time to go. Which means I've got plenty of time to just mess around with the FMC and figure out where I'm flying to. So yeah, next waypoint is Colt. Okay, so I'm not the only one who's suffered from the FMC. Good to know. Right, so... so I can't delete any of these frequencies anyway. Delete... can't delete it, oh, for crying out loud. I have to execute it every time, don't I? Delete, execute, delete, execute, delete, execute, delete, execute, delete, delete host. Again, you'll know when I'm over in New York. Actually no, just completely delete the entire flight plan. So would you say how much is the IXCG and how much would you say it's worth it, Mike Sierra? Because I can tell you, I'm going to get bored doing this the entire time. Like I said, I'm normally an FSX person. Normally I'm flying the PMDG, which is more than enough to set up. This is just painful. I swear I've deleted that MIP waypoint at least 5 times now. Oops, nope, nope. Okay, cruising altitude just died on me. And then 35,000 is decent altitude hold at least. 0.87 is fine. Yeah, unfortunately I've now completely killed the thing. Pretty expensive and slow, but I love all the systems work, yeah. I'll see what I can do. Maybe worth doing it. For now, beep. Beep. Again, a real 737 FMC does not make the sound either. This is just too much. Goodbye Apple, goodbye Proud. Right, so complete flight plan renewal. Colts, I don't even know where Colts is, except it's somewhere going to be behind me. Now I need to figure out what waypoints we got. I'll go over to Simbrief quickly. And finally find out here, go to my flight plan. Does it give me the waypoints names? So I am over this lake now. So first waypoint after that is Adale, A-D-A-L-E. Right, so Adele, then right, so there we go. So it should now give me a line on my PFD, this is where I'm heading. So set that to LNAV. No, it's going to take the aircraft. Yeah, I think I may have to go visual for this one. For crying out loud, guys. The thought FMC in this thing really is bad. And don't forget, what I tried to do was set an approach. Right, I need to make a right turn, because I'm now flying the wrong way. Partially, hang on, which way should I be heading to? Hang on, what do you mean I'm heading the wrong way? I should be heading, hang on, 090, yeah, I'm not heading the wrong way at all. Unless that sim has now got no idea where I'm flying to either. Check my heading. Heading. Yes, I should be heading at 114 right now. 114. Just looking at the previous bit. So 114. We'll turn left again. And get it in. Hang on. So how much is the ICG 737? take command, XCH-37 Classic will cost me $74. It's not too bad, it's about the same price as a PMDG. It's the worst in the world. Hang on a second, can I now delete Colts? Nope, because I'm still here. Can I fly to Squib maybe first? SQ, hang on, clear that. Squib. See that here. Executes. Squib, then Adele. Executes. The aircraft then wants me to go back all the way to Colt, which is not the case. Yeah, because my favourite aircraft is the 737-400, the 737 Classic, so the RXAG would be perfecting for me. Problem is, look, once we go back to Colt, which is 244 nautical miles away, which is just going to take time. Can I skip a, please? Can I just completely wipe out this FMC now? Can I do it on the co-pilot one, which is the not so advanced one? Delete Colts. Hang on, delete Colts. Embed delete. No, I can't then. Yeah, because another thing's like with virtual airlines as well on VRYR virtual Speedbirds. I do fly the Comair stuff down there as well in South Africa, which uses some of the classics 737s. Anyways, let's figure out what I can do. Otherwise, I am just going to fly not manual. Sorry. Fly. So heading. Let's change that now onto the correct flight path, at least. So we're not going to get too far off course. Alright, so it's Adele, which I'm not going to be able to fly it to properly. Victory, VIO. Is that really named the waypoint? Seriously, guys, you Americans. And it's waypoint haste after that. Waypoint haste. And after haste, the next major turn comes at. Okay, we'll then fly to Woost. Oops, clear that. Woost. Then after Woost, we fly all the way to top of the descent. So if you go maybe to the next one after that, Mark, M-A-R-R-C. Next page. Now I need to fly north of, yeah, I need to fly north of the Guardia, not south. I need to go to north. Any other waypoints I can possibly... Here we go, right. That's what I wanted. I need to go to CPOG, C-E-P-O-G. And then I can make my own approach into the Guardia. So if I can figure out how to delete Colts, explain, delete, active, waypoint. Right, choose waypoint that I want to be active. I click on it, copy to scratch pad, put it in the LSK1 by clicking on LSK1. So I want Adele to be active. And click on right LSK1, so put it there. There we go. Now I can go back to VNav and LNav. Okay, no proper VNav, but now the aircraft is back on course. That's taken way too long for me. There we go, make sure it's alright. Then I get to CPOG, which is up north. I could probably do a bit shorter than that, but I don't care. And then it's KLGA. Hang on, if I go to arrivals, runway ILS22. Let's keep that, now that I know what I'm doing. Haste, CPOG. And whereabouts is Yeoman? Yeoman is further up. Yes. Yeoman Greg. Yes, that's what I want. Hang on, if I can now delete CPOG. Executes. Then it's Yeoman. Executes. Yeoman Greco. Make sure it's also on the flight path. So Yeoman Greco. Done it. I've now got an ILS approach set up. Hang on, there should be one more thing on between their haste, was it? No, I think haste a bit too far south, actually. Drems, Beauty, Lizzie. Yeah, if I go to Lizzie, then fly up north. Actually, no, if I don't even need to go to Lizzie, I could possibly fly it to Vibes. Yeah, let's go to Vibes. Vibes before Yeoman. No, Woost. Where's Woost? Milton, top of descent, Mark. Midgets, TZ. Where's waypoint Woost? I need to know. Actually, I could probably do it from the actual step-by-step plan. So if I switch over to that one. Nope. That one. Bring it back. So Del to haste to Woost. I zoom out. Whoops, nope. There's absolutely nothing around Woost. Top of descent. Yeah, okay, that'll do then. So if I then go to what was it? In line with that, this one. Lizzie. No, it was one before that. Vibes was it? Yes. So Vibes before was whatever. Vibes goes into there. Executes. Then it's Yeoman here. Execute there. I've now got a flight plan set up. That's way too long, but I'm now back on the VNav, back on the LNav, and the aircraft knows where it's going. I think I deserve a break. So yeah, by next waypoint we'll be back on the proper VNav. Does the plane have its own 737? Yes, it has a default 737, which is what I'm flying right now, except I'm using a modified cockpit using the Zybo mod, and it's also got a sound pack as well, which doesn't know the name, but basically it also puts realistic sounds in the aircraft. Although, as shown by the last 10 minutes, it's not exactly the easiest thing to use, thanks to the FMC. But yeah, I got there in the end. I've now got the I've now got an approach set up. It's taken me 20 minutes, but I've got an approach set up. Let me just make sure I'm not off course according to that sim. I'm not veered off the flight plan anyway. Nope, looking good. Flew to the north slight bits over Milwaukee, but we are now coming over Holland, and we are now in Michigan. I'll zoom out, let's go outside quickly. A bit cloudy, but you can just about see there's land below me. So how you guys doing? Enjoying the stream so far? Always good trying new stuff. Yeah, so normally I'm an FX pilot, but basically I got a request to do this route from Minneapolis to New York. So someone said, why not do an X-plane? Why not give X-plane a go, see what it's like? So I'm like, sure, why not? It's going to take forever to set up X-plane anyway, FX anyways, so give it a go, see if I need decent. First I start up the IRS went to line properly, so I have to do that again 2-3 times during taxi, where all my views just disappeared and gave up on me. Then I departed, all normal. Then I tried to set in an arrival, where there are then no stars at the Guardia, so I had to set that manually, to which then completely messes up the entire flight plan, so I have to recode the entire thing by hand. Which is why unfortunately I did it now as opposed to on like 5 minutes to arrival. So yeah, we are now flying back on track, back where we should be. Oh yes, and I also had camera issues where the Fly Lure add-on was just glitching up my camera. Actually seems to be quite relaxed now, but yeah, basically I've got a camera add-on here as well. What's it called? XP Realistics. Yeah, basically XP Realistic puts realistic movement into the aircraft. It's like AccuFuel for FSX, just not as in depth. Although actually no more error codes. I'll turn it on. Okay, let's see. This is also back to normal. So let's carry on our flight, shall we? Got ground camera as well. Got another aircraft exterior view. We've got another ground camera. Yeah, fair few camera views. Got our flyby view with our massive black trail we're leaving behind. So that's a contrail, but X-Plane's contrails aren't exactly the greatest thing in the world. But you might see that improved at some points. And we've got another in front of the plane view. Would you do a shared cockpit video? Not sure. There was one guy I was talking to yesterday, actually, that Puma Gaming guy. I might do one with him in the next few weeks. We'll see what happens. Welcome back, Darren Elliott. I finally tossed out the aeroplane. It now knows where it's going, so I can just sit back and hopefully relax, assuming this thing doesn't blow up in my face again and delete my entire flight plans, cause massive issues in that. But if I go back to legs, yeah, get to the next waypoint, haste, and fingers crossed we'll then be. Yes, there we go. We're now back on a proper VNAV. Aircraft knows where it's going. Again, still on the camera views on this as well, but here you go. KIPT traffic taking off runway 28 right. If this was FSX, I'd be watching its takeoff right now, but unfortunately there's no way to view AR traffic. At least I don't think there is. There is a way, do let me know, because it would be quite cool to see. What's going on with the APU? Yeah, I'm not too sure what the APU is going on. I mean, the APU is switched off as it should be at this stage. Dual bleeds. Hang on, it's one of these over here, is it? It's one of these. Hang on. Whenever the APU, yeah, the APU bleed is still on. There we go. There we go, much better. The light stays on though. I don't think that's an APU valve. No, that's part of the pack switch. I want to keep that one on. Yeah, dual bleed's now completely off. That's fine. Pack's fine. That stays on. I believe it stays on. Nope. Yeah, let's not turn that off. I don't feel like depressurizing my aircraft. Hang on, turn that off a second. Yeah, it's definitely not that. And the APU is just going to mess up for the rest of the flights. Just ignore it at this case. Just ignore it. That's nothing that's going through my mind right now. Ignore it as long as you get there alive. I mean, I may have just depressurized the aircraft, but you never know. Faults. Welcome back, Matthew. How you doing? There you go, look, faults. I don't even know why it says faults. The APU is completely switched off. There should be no faults, but I'm gonna make sure those are off as well. That's off. Those are the wipers. No need for these. Yep, APU is just being an APU. Yeah, whatever. Just going to ignore it now at this point. I know, I'm not sure what I did, but it worked. Go me. Just flick a few switches, you never know what it's going to do. But if it worked, that's all errors now gone. Plane is normal. It knows where it's going. Flight plan set. finally I can sit down for a moment and breathe. And I might actually go fill up a water bottle now, because I've just run out. So be back in 2 minutes, guys. And then when I come back, if any like questions and so forth, free to ask, I'm more than happy to answer. I'll also leave the camera in AI controlled mode as well, so it just automatically changes and stuff. So flight, AI controls your views, and also forth. So all of the sections for us marks. Oh right, not bad. So yeah, do let me know how that goes once you do receive it. Anyways, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Here, let's hope it works for HP and burgers. Do whatever you want. Also, as I filled up my bottle, why all the dislikes? I mean, come on, 2 dislikes. I mean, fair enough, I don't know how I'm setting up playing, I'm just completely messing everything up, but come on, 2 to 5. Improve that, guys. Also, subscribe as well, help channel out. So you know the usual, YouTube begging you to subscribe and like and stuff. Anyways, I'm going to fill my bottle now. Right then, let's see what I've missed on chat. So, scroll up. So, burgers. Do you think I'll be able to add Adam scenery to it? No. Maybe low quality stuff, but yeah, not the highest stuff for you, Matthew. Let's spam chat. Thank you very much for that, Tyler. When I get F6, so yeah, be careful with your add-on scenery, Matt. May not be the best for you, but we'll see what happens. 2 dots from Tyler. Darren, subbing to you chatters. Matthew, do you think I'll be able to download scenery and make it look better? I've just said that. Had a car same car exhaust once. Yeah, not exactly the nicest exhaust in the world. Let's get back to the aircraft, shall we? And downloading add-ons may make plane look better. Yes, I think you've said that 3 times now. So, top of descent. Oh no, because I'm using. Normally, I'd use Active Sky for the flight briefing and so forth. Unfortunately, because I'm on an X-plane, that's not available to me. So, as it stands for now, no indications when my top of descent will be. I could maybe go for an educated guess via something. What do you think of F6 without add-ons? Outdated. I mean, it's not the worst in the world, but you could definitely do much better these days. Anyways, we are now soon to fly. Is that us? Sorry, double check. No, it's Christopher Hatfield. There we go. So yeah, 2 hour northwest is going to be Detroit, and somewhere over there is another AI aircraft. In fact, if I go over to traffic paths, can I see another airplane over there? Fortunately, no, there is another aircraft over Detroit right now. Where you get his traffic path. We've got our own traffic path through the contrails. Again, what's that really nice one which shows like the external like 3D, there you go, 3D flight path. Ah, there we go, right, so that's our flight path. Right, these ones then show 3D flight model, and that shows the airflow around the aircraft. So X-plane has a system called airfoils. Basically, airfoils goes like, it uses the flight model to determine the airflow around an aircraft, determines how it flies in certain conditions. This is more visual kind of like indication of how it flies. So yeah, airfoils takes the shape of the airplane and builds a flight map around it, depending on where the air would go through it. A little bit of a thing for you, trying to find the right air, but yeah, whatever. Right, let's get back in. So turn those off. So we can cycle these, Control P. Alright, oh yeah, there's like a vertical line as well, so yeah, actually as well, so you've got just vertical, so you've got just horizontal, then you've got vertical, this massive line in it, that's that, and the airflow one is Control M, just shows the airflow around that. Bit of wing flex as well, but I think we only 2 major ones here, with the calm weather. I'm using the real world weather add-on. Yes, this is X-Plane 11. X-Plane 11, decent simulator. Still got to learn a lot about it, as you can tell with my flying, but it's getting there. It's getting there. Right, this one is waving. This is bot. Oh right, this is one of your spam messages. What's going on here? Right, so I just vacated runway. Yeah, landing shouldn't be too bad with X-Plane. We'll see what happens when we come into land. But bear in mind the PMDG has got decent flight systems as well, flight modelling. The only thing that could catch me out is the non-flat runways, as in reality runways are not flat. Otherwise I'm not expecting too many issues with this flight at all. Should be quite a good one for me. What do you mean by the sound of landing? Depends what you mean. So I'm using a modified sound pack, which puts a bit more like realistic sounds into the aircraft. There are a few things that what you just said could mean in this instance. Go for a flyby view. Sorry, it's shift 2. Better remember that. Or shift 1. Alright, that's just the in front of the airplane. Well, let's see. Another thing that's a bit slow. The weather transition is a bit slow sometimes. It takes out weather and then puts it back in again. FSX's transitions, while again being 10 years old and not exactly the greatest weather engine in the world, it's not too bad, at least when it comes to transitions. Yeah, I'm both streaming on Twitch and YouTube right now, so twitch.com/DroidGames, youtube.com/c/DroidGames, and that'll be my channel if you're looking on either one. Zoom on that. Top of descent is not going to appear. There you go, so top of descent will appear. Maybe a bit further away. I might go for slightly early descent, depending on the depending on time. We'll see what happens from my descent, because don't forget I'm going to fly. I'm going to have to fly north of the airfield, and then come back in for the ILS. Let me just do a quick plan just in case. It's alright. So yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Go to Yeoman and take the right turn. Bring it back to the airport. Yeah, that's a decent flight plan. Whatever it gave me beforehand, which caused me to delete everything and reset it, that was a no-no. What could you say about... Hang on, would you say you can learn a lot of things when flying without using flight sims? Yes, you probably can. I mean, you can watch a few tutorials, like learn the basics on how to take off, lands, autopilot, all that kind of stuff. Learn the basics, and then once you get your simulator, just apply it to the actual system. I mean, with me, I was basically, before I got the PNG 737, because I bought the MCD version, which had about 2-3 day delivery, I spent those 2-3 days watching YouTube videos on how to turn it on, how to set up, how to fly it. Keep that to memory, and then once it did arrive, plug it all in, and it took me about a week really till I got the main part systems memorised. And being a decent aircraft as well, it did apply to my X-plane, this right now. Had issues with the IRS, we'll say that. Although 5 minutes before I started streaming, I practiced it, learned the basics, and I had no problems there. So as per usual, the moment you go live, everything starts collapsing around you. But nah, as a setup, it's not too bad. So yes, you can learn a lot. I mean, like, what's it? Channels like Matt Davies, channels like Frugal Sims, Squirrel, those kind of guys as well. A lot you can learn from them, better than their like style of flying, what they can say. If the thermographics are high, would my game crash? It would do both actually. FSX, so FSX, because you bought FSX you said, so it's basically process heavy. FSX will not use GPU, it's all on the processor, or uses a single core of the processor. So with you, first thing you need to do is learn how to edit the config. I might just block all Bob comments in the channel at this point now, but yeah. You may want to keep the graphics down, and learn how to edit the FSX config so that you can put the high memory fix into that. You can also put in a few other like core memory changes and that kind of stuff as well. There's a few things you can do to help yourself, but will FSX be laggy? Yes, if you set it to high, and yes, it will crash eventually if you keep it high. So in your case, because I know you had a slightly underpowered laptop, keep it medium low, and you'll be alright. Sure, no problem, Matthew, and glad you're enjoying the flight, Darren. Glad you are. Eventually got it set up after departure. So yeah, once getting to land, actually, let me try and find the ILS frequencies for La Guardia. That'd be also quite useful to plug in at some points. Let's do a quick search of that now. La Guardia, let's go to Sim Brief. So I don't think it's going to be on this page of the flight plan. A bit further on, so if I go to a new tab, print view PDF, scroll down, try and find the ILS information. care about that. Try and find... actual frequencies. What's the in-flight entertainment? I don't know. I've never flown Delta Airlines before, so someone's going to have to Google that and tell me. If someone can tell me what the in-flight entertainment for Delta is, do let me know. Otherwise, at the moment, it's just listening to my voice. And, yeah, I can't... hang on. Whoops. Guardia ILS frequencies. Air nav again, to the rescue. Right, airport information, that's fine. So I want... where is it? There we go. VORs, frequencies, there. So I'm looking for runway 22. Not VOR DME, I need ILS. Or runway, hang on, where is runway 22? Runway 22. 22. 224 magnetic, 212 true. Where is the actual ILS frequencies? That's what I'm looking for. Let's get back out of that then. Let's go for flightplan.com. Runway weights, approach information. Oh right, it's only giving it for runway 04 and 13. It's not very helpful. Seatback entertainment, podcasts, TV shows and other goodies. Thank you very much for that. And if I had FS Passengers installed, that's FSX, but if I had FSX installed using FS Passengers, then I would be able to actually do like a flight entertainment kind of stuff in the background. But unfortunately, that's not the case for me right now. ILS is 04, approach. There we go, right, so it's 110.5224, 110.5224, 110.5, make sure it's on both, 110.5, 224 on the course. Whoops, for crying out loud. Default aircraft, I love you. 10. Hang on, 224. There we go. Down his as well. 224. Why does this hate me so much? I mean, if you ever watch my previous X-Plane videos in the past on the demo, those videos got so much dislike. My channel actually stalled in growth for about 2 months before I really got anything in the end. So yeah, X-Plane and my channel have never been best of friends, although I'm hoping to change that at some point in the near future. And again, a series on the approach as well is something that someone has requested and something I probably will do in the near future, as it actually is a decent idea for site. So basically, I've requested a series, so I'll fly into different airports in around the world. So flying like Kai Tak, flying to Lukla, flying to Innsbruck, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so I could do that in FSX, but to be fair, the real challenge in that is a difficult approach series would be in X-Plane. We've got the flight light announced around the aircraft. You've got the like bumpy runways, so it's not the flat ones. Yeah, you're not dealing with FMC issues. It took me about 20 minutes to set up, but I now know what I'm doing. So if I do mess it up again, I can just erase it all and start all over again. Again, like I said, I normally use FSX. I normally use the PMDG 1037 using the default FMC on X-Plane is a bit different for me, although it shouldn't be too hard to learn once I get the basics sorted. Because the last time I flew a proper flight on X-Plane before this would have been a couple of months ago at this point. Actually, no, it's more like 2 months ago, so bit of culture shock. That's what the technical term is. Culture shock. Murder mystery. Well, there's no weapons in the aeroplane, so good luck with that. Although, speaking of that, if you want a decent murder mystery game, take a look online or on Steam for Town of Salem. Town of Salem is like a murder mystery game, so you have 12 people, look, different role each, and have to discover what they are. It's a game I've played for the last 2 years now, bought the Kickstarter thing for that as well. Yeah, it's a decent game, one I've enjoyed playing for the last couple of years. Free advertising for those guys, because I have enjoyed it. Anyway, it's all looking good so far. We might get there in one piece. Again, the only thing that could now take me out is the non-flat runway at the Guardia, which I doubt will be any problem for me. Unless I'm that terrible as a pilot, then in that case I should rethink my entire thing. That way is not updating. Let's go to... not that... It's not that aware, it's not Vatastic, it's... What's the other map? Oh, it's just that map, fair enough. So we find my aircraft. Okay, so we are the rear one. Fidget spinners are... No, I hate fidget spinners. You'd never see me with one, don't worry. Nah, fidget spinners are just a massive waste of time. Don't even know what's a fad. When they first came out, I honestly originally thought they're like a toy that came out of a Cocoa Pops cereal or something. I honestly thought it was like a giveaway toy from cereal, not a major thing that people started using. But yeah, you'll never see me with a fidget spinner, I can tell you that for a fact. ETA is about 45 minutes now. We will be landing in about 45 minutes, assuming nothing goes wrong for us. Although flight plan, our arrival is slightly a bit different now. If I've got to go to the north of New York just to get onto the ILS, so it could get a bit different. Hi, welcome to Stream Assassin for today. How are you doing? How are you doing, Assassin, for today? Clear 2-4 right, that's fine. I think we're actually flying to LaGuardia today right now. Maybe a fair few. Go to New York, zoom in. See if that's in is better for that. Alright, that Tastic is loading. How many arrivals do we have at LaGuardia today? So again, basic idea of how much traffic I may be facing, because the New York airports are generally quite busy. And not too far away from each other either, so... Okay, it's one arrival, it's just me. No problem, Assassin. Yeah, it's one arrival right now, it's just me. And we should be able to land for now the majority of the flights. During our approach, we may go over the sea a bit, as we do head north to Massachusetts, then through Connecticut, I don't know how to say these American place names, and then into New York. So, yeah, approach shouldn't be too bad for us. And then we'll fly into LaGuardia in the next few minutes. Top of descent is now in 60 nautical miles, 180. Hang on, yes, 160 to 3. Again, another thing I do like, the camera angles, the camera movements on this simulator are actually really nice. The explain camera moving, can't say anything wrong with this. Compared to FSX default, woo, serious sounds. Compared to FSX, this is really nice. And I don't have any camera add-ons myself, so I can't have the nicest moving myself. But otherwise, eventually I will get chase plane. Chase plane is something I do want to get for FSX. I'm just waiting for it to appear on the pilot shop, as they generally have like the cheapest prices and best sales. Oh, a little bit of sea fluff detail as well. But yeah, waiting for it to appear on FS Pilot shop before I buy it myself. For now it's quite decent, so what was I going to check? That's the top of the descent, so that's the 320. It's about 180 nautical miles till top of descent. We're going about 160, 170 ourselves. Then yeah, vibes make a left turn and fly into New York. So yeah, we do fly to the north a bit, turn around and come back. I'm bring that to about 20 nautical miles will do. Yes, this is using the Zebo mod and the some other sound pack as well, a decent one. Yes, using the Zebo mod. which is, for the default aeroplane, it's not too bad. It's not perfect, there are a few issues I had, especially with the FMC earlier on, but you know, for the majority it's not the worst in the world. Does the job. And yeah, it's the default Delta 737 livery. Nothing too major, but fair enough. There are no pilot models in there. Don't think there are. Nope. Oh well. Except for that, I just can't see them. And yeah, the contrast in this game is still atrocious grey mess. And yeah, the pilot seats are empty. Yeah, no active tower at LaGuardia, no active tower. There was an active tower at Minneapolis, and that was about 10 minutes after I departed. So just missed out on that. Meaning I'm just going to use the chat frequency for now. And if I turn off the... Whoops. Nope, sorry, it's shift C. Ooh, what's that on the ground? It's a bit different. Then we'll go to the exterior view, and I'll have a look at it in a moment. If not, it's just probably just a visual glitch. Anyways, if I go back to the cockpit, turn off the camera shaking movements, there should still be some minor stuff that's a different add-on also puts into it, which is XP Realistic. Which basically has its own little setup. Different sounds and different immersion, sound effects and camera shake effects. Which only works the best with... Whoops. Again, still learning the camera controls for this game. Works best with the camera... Is it camera verte, is it? Camera verite. There we go, it's better. Is X-Plane 11 better than FSX? Yes and no. Like I said, I've always said, when it comes to X-Plane and FSX, it depends on what simulator you're looking for. So with me, the first thing you should say is P3D. No, you don't need it. P3D is just... You don't need it. Basically, P3D is released as a more like technical students, actual commercial level flying simulator by Lockheed Martin. FSX does the job, you don't need P3D. So for me, FSX, you've got plenty of add-ons, which has been popular for 10 years, and the community that's not too bad either. So if you want an established simulator, which in my opinion is easy to customise, easy to mod and so forth, FSX is what you want. Do you want your airplanes good out of the box with like little work to do and to go straight into flying, so no need to like mod it, no need to edit the config and so forth, just get it out of the box and it's perfect, X-Plane is what you want. Because with the FSX, you'll have to spend a bit... bearing in mind it's 10 years old, you have to spend a bit more money to get what you want. So in my case, I've got the PMDG 737 and a fair few add-on like Active Sky. I've got Rex Soft Clouds, that kind of stuff. But a fair bit amount of money behind the game for the last 10 years, and that's when the game really starts to get into its full value. So again, really depends what you want to see out of a simulator. Do you want it straight out of the box? X-Plane. Do you want it bit of modification, don't mind that, and just put as much money as you can into it to make it the best you can get out of it? Then you want FSX. About graphics? Graphically, X-Plane is king. That you just can't deny it. X-Plane 11 is graphically king. I mean, you get the minor details such as the heat going out of the engines. Don't get an FSX. Modelling, get a bit of fine detailing. Actually, modelling is dependent, so it's more subjective. So yeah, like PMDG 737 is also not too bad. Scenery-wise, ground scenery default, X-Plane is a lot better, and likewise you can get the Orfellow for FXP tiles add-on, which puts like better ground scenery on. Then again, you can get FS Earth tiles for FSX, so that's what's got an equivalent. But straight out of the box, lighting-wise and just the feel of it, X-Plane is king. With FSX, mine doesn't look too bad. That's because I've got about £100 worth of add-ons. So I've got Active Sky Weather, Rex Soft Clouds, and EMB, and a few others installed. But straight out the box, X-Plane will be king for sure. Also, X-Plane's a bit less graphically hardware, so FSX runs only on a single core processor. You have like an 8-core processor, it will only run on one core, unless you mod the config file, whilst X-Plane gets a balance between graphics card and processor. as the developers put a bit more time into that setup. But there is a reason behind the FSX single core, and that was because 10 years ago they believed that the future was single core processors, although they're very wrong with that. So yeah, graphics and flight dynamics, you want X-Plane. If you want customization and stuff that's already been released and known to be high quality, then you want FSX. And there goes your realistic weather. It's just gone completely blank. So what's that? Oh, is that a visual glide slope, visual ILS? Right, I do not want that. How do I turn that off? Hang on, reset. No, I don't want that. Let's get rid of it. There we go. There we go. I do not like that visual glide slope. That was just a bit poor. Anyways, we'll carry on flying. So we're heading to New York, heading to LaGuardia. Top of descent in 155 nautical miles. When I get down to FSX and get access to all the buttons in the cockpit, and you know why that's because FSX is 10 years old and the aeroplanes are not very well modelled. 10 years ago they were high quality, but they didn't survive the test of time. So 10 years ago they're low quality models, they're not the best in the world. With X-Plane, this is a high quality model and a bit more detail in it. If you want to get buttons all accessible in the cockpit, you have to buy some payware aircraft, which will cost you about £50–60 depending on what you want. Some cheaper, some a bit more expensive. So why can't you access all the buttons in the cockpit? Because they're low quality, not modelled properly. 10 years ago they were great. 10 years ago they were amazing. They're like the best simulator around the world. But then as time went on, as new DLCs came out and so forth, things didn't last too long, and eventually the simulator's kind of like, you know what, maybe it's not as good as it used to be. So yeah, as I said just moments ago, if you're wanting FSX to be decent, you have to put a fair bit of money behind it to get exactly what you want. Although at the same time there are plenty of add-ons out there already which do know what you want, there's plenty of reviews and so forth. With X-Plane it's a bit more straight out of the box and everything is high quality from the start. Because the big difference between FSX and X-Plane 11, one is 10 years old, one is 10 months old. 10 years and 10 months are a long time, especially with computers and going so forth. Superman or Batman? I'm going Batman. Yeah, I do prefer Batman to Superman any day of the week. Although I haven't seen the Superman vs Batman film, it doesn't seem it at all. It just seems a bit rubbish from the trailers. And looking at reviews for it as well, wasn't very well received, so I haven't seen the movie, but if I was going between those two, I'd put it behind Batman. Although, in reality, if they fought together, one's a human with martial arts, one's a demigod from another planet. In reality, if those two fought, Superman would kill Batman within minutes, but that's not what Superman does. But in terms of like tech, gear, and just as an actual superhero, I prefer Batman myself. There you go. Nice fun description for you guys. So you've got 6 views right now on the stream. We've got 1 on Twitch and 5 on YouTube. How you guys doing? If you want to chat, feel free to do so. Any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer anything for you guys. Likewise, do help channel out, so do leave a like, do subscribe, just anything to keep the channel going. I mean, 821 subscribers, that's actually a decent number actually for the last couple of weeks. Good growth we've had, especially with the live streams. So I'll definitely keep these ones going, but if you guys have any like questions, feel free to support. How long have I been doing this? Right, I can take this from 3 points. So, how long have I been doing flight simulators? I've been doing flight simulators since 2005 when I got FS 2004 for Christmas. I've been doing YouTube and Twitch since April last year. So I've been doing weekly, daily videos for about a year and 3 months. And how long I've been doing FSX and flight simulators properly, then that's about 2015, 2016 where I've been so flight simulators I've been doing on and off for a couple of years, but I really started getting more serious into my flight simming about 2 years ago, where I started looking into the config, messing around with the files, see what I can do with that. So whilst I've been using FSX for a long time now, and only recently thinking about transitioning to X-Plane, yeah, bit of a culture shock for me, and I will definitely stick to I'll stick to FSX for a little while. I mean, like I said, I've got about £500 worth of add-ons for that, spent over 10 years, and I've got also a partnership with flightsim.com, who I review products for FSX. So I won't be leaving FSX anytime soon, but I'm thinking of starting to bring some X-Plane into my channel. Just bring a bit of like variation, keep it all modern. So like I said, someone wants me to do a dangerous approaches series, and well, X-Plane would be the better one for that. Would flight simulators be? And yes, FS 2004, definitely good times. I remember the default 737-400 on that. What a beauty. Orbit Airlines. Would flight simulators be much better with mods? Yes. Both simulators would do better. Actually, in my opinion, FSX would probably do a lot better with mods than X-Plane. Bear in mind, it's 10 years older and has plenty of mods across the years, with many companies still supporting development for it. X-Plane are a bit more like, so because the flight dynamics are done via the airfoil system, which basically gets the airflow around each aircraft, they'll feel more realistic and so forth, but for me, FSX, especially when it comes to payware, still a little bit more on top of that, especially like PMDG, you've got Captain Sim, Caronado visually, although they're all moving to X-Plane now. I still see a lot more with FSX when it comes to modding, but both simulators, engine failure, bird strike. Ooh, that sim don't generally like their failures. Winky face. Yeah, basically, we'll talk about failures, but basically, that sim are a bit strict when it comes to their failures and crashing. I think you can tell why, but have a bit of fun with him. Right, so where else are we now? We are flying over. Any waypoints, any town names would be appreciated. How much time do we land? We land in half an hour. About half an hour, maybe a little bit longer than that, depending on our approach. Top of the descent is in... I can't even read that anymore. Just over 80 nautical, about 90 nautical miles. 90 nautical miles till top of descent, although I'll do it about 80, so I can get a nice early descent in. And yeah, we'll see how the bird strike guy does. Right, so where else am I right now? Should we refresh that, update it? So we're way past Cleveland. We are heading towards... yeah, so now over Pennsylvania. We are heading over... what's the nearest town? We're heading towards Penfield now. We've just left Brockway. But we're now over Pennsylvania. And only one state away from New York. So like I said, it's about half an hour till we land. Yeah, basically, he's just talking about how it can't be turned off. And then FS passenger was an FSX, but due to that sim admins, so I just flew the Trust Strip with one engine. So yeah, basically, let's find the DO228s for the first passenger series, Burst Strike engine 2, flew the rest of the way with one engine. Any airline I'd fly for, what would it be? I'm not too sure. I mean, well, first of all, for me, I'd throw my Boeings to my Airbus. So, first of all, it'd have to be a selection of Boeing aircraft, which has about half the airlines crossed off. I mean, I could fly. I mean, Ryanair are a decent company, I guess, but at the same time, Ryanair aren't exactly known for their gracious pilots and so forth. So yeah, Ryanair aren't exactly known for their like greatest care of their pilots and so forth, but you never know. Maybe like, I'm not too sure. Delta aren't too bad, but they're phasing out their aircraft. United Airlines. I'm British, so I should be alright actually. United Airlines, maybe not. Thing, if I happen to fly someone, if Ryanair like were decent with their pilots and so forth, I probably would fly Ryanair. I mean, as a passenger, I mean, yeah, with Ryanair, I mean, as a passenger, I mean, they get to the place I need to go, because I go to Rzeszów for my holidays to Poland each year. Ryanair the only airline that does that from London, so decent pricing to where I need to go, and I've never had a problem with them. You get passengers talk about how we've got, like, different issues with ticket costing and care about passengers. You're spending £5 for a ticket to fly across Europe. You shouldn't really be complaining at this point. So, yeah, Ryanair aren't too bad as a passenger for me. Otherwise, it's all fine. What's my favourite subjects? My favourite subjects... I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm not a student anymore. This year was my final year as a student, so I've got to find a job in September. I know, it's so hard. But favourite subjects? Probably computer science, actually. Computer science wasn't too bad. Mainly because there was some decent banter with the teacher at that point as well. Teacher's quite nice. And actually kind of really cared for us as well. And I'm hoping my grade in that, so I'm going to reflect that as well. Hoping. See what happens. Anyways, flying into Guardia now. About central Pennsylvania ourselves. So I'm zooming back in. Delta Airlines. We are... that one. Yes, we have now entered the state of New York, I believe. No, we haven't. Possibly. I don't know anymore. No, we're not entering New York just yet. But we are now central Pennsylvania. And we should soon start thinking about descending, which will be quite interesting with this. Bear in mind our flight plan earlier was a bit of a mess, crazy setup. Yes, at this point, the stream will now just get very quiet until we come into land. You've got 1 viewer on Twitch. I assume it's still N37 Sierra. I should give you a follow at the end of the stream, not too bad. We've got 3 guys over on YouTube as well. How do clouds look so nice? Do they? They look pretty default to me. Because this is X-Plane, not FSX. So, most of this has not been touched yet in terms of mods. Maybe I've put 1 or 2 in the past I've just forgotten about, but as a majority I don't think anything really has changed too much. scenery's not too bad at the moment, I guess. Some decent scenes going here. Now, what's the shortcut for taking screenshots in this game? Oh, there is one. I do have Steam connected to it, so I just do F12. I swear there's a shortcut, doesn't matter anyway, just carry on flying. See, it's not been too bad. As a flight, I've enjoyed it. Forget the FMC hiccup I had at the start, where I was just going crazy about how I can plug it in the program, and just the horror of trying to use this thing, but as a majority, I've enjoyed it. So I've had some decent flying, decent chats in the stream chat as well. Now we can soon start our descent to... we're at 350, I might go to 150. We'll go for the first major jump in about... if I zoom in on this... so we're going to do an early descent, to do about 10 nautical miles early. Yeah, planned our descent, so I've already set up an approach on the FMC. I've set up the ILS. It really is just a case of now I need to get the airplane down. So top of descent is in 30 nautical miles, just under. And when it's 10 nautical miles away, I'll then start my descent from 350 to 150. So that's 20,000 feet, but that's easy enough for me to do. And then likewise, I'm going to have to figure out what the pressure is at the moment at thingy anyway, around New York. Which I believe this may tell me anyway. Where is it that tells me? Yeah, I can't find my information. Doesn't matter too much if I can't find it. There we go. Right, what is the air pressure outside of New York for landing? It's not going to be 2992. It's going to be... I might just ask. Oh, I've not logged in, that's why. Doesn't matter. Let me just log into that. Top of descent is now in 50 nautical miles, another 5 to go, and then we're coming to land. Lovely virtual call. Need to rework my way around them. Otherwise, if I go to extras, go over to that sim, and yeah, start our descent. So descending from flight level 350 to flight level 150. Right, let's do this thing. 1,000 feet per minute right now, and then once I get this all finished, zoom in on that, get to the green bar. Oh, it's not giving me the estimated descent. Oh, that's useful. Most useful thing this airplane could include, and they haven't added it. Welcome back, Adrianic, how are you doing? Right, so I just need to log back into that, so it's that and that. Just do an email address then. And can I get the air pressure around the Guardia? Again, that'd be really helpful for me. 2 departures, 1 arrival. Charts, no charts available from aircharts.org. I don't care about that. There you go, weather. Not 13, 29 at 13, right, okay. Bit of a strong one, doesn't matter. Altimeter 3005 outside LaGuardia, 3005. Alright, you're off to Alicante Hotel. Where's your next flight, to? Because you're at Alicante, so when's your next flight and what's your destination? That would be quite interesting to know. Going around, don't know why my brakes are not engaged. Ooh, it's a bit of a serious one actually. Yeah, where's your next flight, Adrianek? Where'd you go to next in your Ryanair career? Given my airspeed, yeah, descent is alright at the moment for airspeed. Soon arriving at Vibes in 24 nautical miles. Yeah, it's another 85 until we get to Yeoman. Sorry, yeah, he said you're going from Alicante to Kaunas as your next flight. So then where'd you go from after Kaunas? Where's your next flight to? So did you say you're going to your break at some point? We're going past 30,000. Giving me airspeed. Speed brakes, I have to do this manually. Bring that back. Sure about that? I'm pretty sure that should be facing the other way. That's not arms. That. Whoops. Whoops. No, you gotta go back. Accidental. I'm no expert on the 737, but I've got a feeling that is not the arms position. No, that's up. Sorry, those are down. And then pull it back. Then they're armed. Right, the display has gone the wrong way around. Again, as I keep saying, I love this aeroplane. So yeah, now I've got to keep that in mind. When you think they're deployed, they are not deployed. There's TCAS in this thing as well. I don't see a TCAS panel anywhere. It doesn't matter too much, does it? Shouldn't come across any traffic. TCAS should be right. There should be a panel right here somewhere for TCAS. Obviously it's not here though. I can live without it, I believe, I hope. Yeah, I'll be fine. As you're off to... Yeah, so you're going from Alicante to Kaunas to Stansted. So yeah, my next flight I'll be doing is to Luton myself. A bit of shaking from the aeroplane actually. Not a good sign. There we go, right, so the speed brakes are creating a bit of shaking there. Right, the throttles then got raised up to almost max as well, that's fine. And there we go, the green line has now appeared for descent rates, so... Actually, VNAV's done a decent descent rates, 190, okay. It's not bad. So we've now hit, oh, what's the name of the place? There's some cool name to it, I don't remember. Now heading to Yeoman, which will take us up north of New York. And we'll then come into land. Yeah, are you tired? Fair enough. Not. We are landing ourselves. We are set to land in 20 minutes, although we may be slightly late. We'll see what happens when we come into land. What time? Yes, 20 minutes. We are meant to arrive in LaGuardia. Of course, the weather's going to change a few times during approach, maybe 2, maybe 3 times, we'll see. This is a modded default aircraft, so I'm using the default 737-800, using the Zimbo mod, which puts a different flight model, and another mod which puts a different sound pack in the aircraft. Basically makes it look and sound more realistic, but the actual model itself is default, yes. And you can see the actual approach now having in the actual approach now appearing on the display. I'll bring us down into the airport. So yeah, I don't bring it down to 15,000. Actually, slightly quicker now. And right, you're back from your road trips. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a few people in now just from New York area. I mean, last time I flew into Innsbruck, I had about 4 or 5 Swiss guys and a German guy in the chat. So that was always interesting. Flew to Alicante, had a few Polish and Estonian people in there. In Agenik as well, who actually flies right in there. Flying to New York, now everyone's got family in New York. Then again, this is kind of what attracts the viewers. I mean, hey look, I live near this airport, so let's go give it a watch. Otherwise, if you're enjoying the stream, do leave a like as well, do subscribe, help the channel out, it generally does. I mean, I'm not sure how many likes are on right now, but at the end of the stream I'll give it a check. And like I said, normally I fly FSX, I don't normally fly X-planes, so we may have a slight culture shock when it comes to touchdown on the non-flat runway, but we'll see what happens. Otherwise, I'm not expecting too much of a hiccup on landing. Should be alright for me. Otherwise, we've got 5 viewers on YouTube, 1 viewer on Twitch. I've just checked that now, so we are on 823 subscribers, 6 likes, and unfortunately 2 dislikes. Which is a bit of a shame, but oh well. And then on Twitch, I'm not sure how not really looking at stats on that. That's when we check like after stream ends because I don't have easy access to it. But Twitch isn't too bad either. Forgive me for on that as well. But yeah, my YouTube is my main source of joy at the moment. So do leave a like, do subscribe, as I keep saying. It does help me out. Anyways, let's sort out this speed. So if we bring it down to 250, as we then get to 15,000. And then from there we'll figure out the rest. Otherwise, like I keep saying, it's not been too bad right now, these flights. Slight hiccups during takeoff, slight hiccups during flights, setting up my arrivals. But now that everything has been sorted out and plugged in, it's just a case of getting the aircraft down, which is basically the easy part at this point. Right, so we've passed 18,000, set the standard, and the barometer was, well I set it to, it was 3003, wasn't it? Hang on, Guardia air pressure. Barometer, altimeter 3005, that's LaGuardia. So if I set that up now, 3005. Yeah, myself, I've got family in England, I've got family in Poland. That's about it. My mum's cousins are in America, that's really it. It's just Poland and England for me. Family's not travelled too far. There we go, counts to 15,000. No, to be fair, we're outside of both transition altitude, so we really should be using 15,000 so far. Keep on using flight levels just for, as you know, we're really not at flight levels anymore, so on now we are descending. Right. Descending 15,000 for, let's go 9,000. Actually, and now keep it at 15,000 for a little bit. We don't need to descend just yet. As long as we get the airspeed down to 250 knots at 15, I can do the final descent to heading up north of New York. I think maybe 4,000, maybe 3,000 would be good airspeed for good altitude for getting on the localizer. And look, we've got an aircraft down there as well. Yeah, this is on VATSIM, this is Mosplex, that's another pilot down there. Your camera's a bit off right now, come on, let me look at him. There we go, flight number, I can't see him, but if I quickly reset on camera, go to like a VATSIM map or something. That aeroplane down there is ASQ 217, he's an Embraer 145, flying for, I'm not sure, but he's going from Port Columbus to Newark. Virtual United Airlines, he's part of United Airlines. Do you have checklists you memorised? Mainly memorised them. I'm not best at checklists, but I've generally memorised most of them. Otherwise, yeah, sticking down to keeping it at 15,000 for now. We'll do a final descent in a moment. Otherwise, you are now entering actual main parts of New York. And also had a look, we are the only aircraft at the moment set to arrive at LaGuardia. 2 departures already happened, we're the only arrival. And yeah, New York somewhere down there, which you saw a Embraer 145. There you go, Embraer 145 over there, who's descending into it now. Alright, send from 15,000 to 9,000. Then start doing our flaps and so forth. Tell them landing lights will get past 10,000. This going down to about 230. This goes down to 9,000 and descends at 1,000 feet per minute. Maybe a bit more than that actually. Yeah, that'll do. And then we get onto the. Actually, no, because then once we get to about 3,000, 4,000, get on the localizer, get onto the ILS, which I believe is found actually. 271 at 23. Yeah. So we are on the established on the localizer. Now we just get the aircraft into position. We're landing runway 22. That is the northern, southern. Yeah, that makes sense. So we're flying along the coast. So yeah, we're flying between Long Island and Norwalk. So we descend and land at 22 at LaGuardia. So yeah, we're going parallel to the Hudson. We'll have Greenwich, Stamford and New Rochelle to my right side. Keep on airspeed. And it's like these spoilers lights have sorted itself out. So moments ago it was just set to some random thing where it said it was active when it was not, and it was off when they were active. Keeping the airspeed 247 now, do for now. Get below 10,000. Understand. Set the altimeter already, might as well. So we are now below transition altitude, which is 18,000 over the US. Really is now just a case of coming into land. So during final I will disable the chat, so I can't read it until I get off the runway. Right, passing below 10,000 feet. You'll now turn on the landing lights. So no, sorry, 11,000. It's got another 1,000 to go. If I can do that. Yeah, it's a bit foggy right now. Visibility, although actually visibility is still going to be 10 plus nautical miles. It's just a bit of cloud at this altitude. But I will be using an ILS coming into land. I hope that's not what it's trying to do the flight planning on. Comes around Greco. Yeah, let me just... A bit of a tight time it's trying to do. I hope it doesn't do that random sharp bit there. Go to Yeoman. Actually, if I delete Yeoman waypoints, make it a bit easier for this aircraft. Delete Yeoman. Okay, can't do that, so I'll just do this instead. So, Resco to Yeoman. Execute that. It should make... Actually, no, it's not done it at all. Right, keep it on Yeoman then. Hang on. Don't like this FMC at all, as I keep saying. Right, so Yeoman. Then Greco. Then Yeoman goes there. And runway goes there. Just don't worry about it. Welcome back, stream Darren Elliott. How are you doing? Let's down the aircraft to... There you go now, that's what it's doing. So let's bring the aircraft down to 4,000 feet. Sending 1,500 feet per minute. Airspeed down to 220 for now. Initial landing lights are set. Sending from 9,000 to 5,000. Do you have scenery for LaGuardia? No. This is using default scenery in X-Plane, which to be fair isn't too bad. Compared to most simulators, X-Plane's not too bad. I think, what's it? It's the new one that's starting to get a bit popular. Get a name of it, that one's not too bad either. Aerofly, that's it. Aerofly's default scenery is probably one of the nicest, but the X-Plane one's not too bad in itself. Hang on, it wants a bit of a steeper descent rate at this point. 2,000 feet per minute. Let's bring that back a bit, keep the airspeed low. In fact, we start doing flaps now. Spoilers should be armed in a moment. Once we get to 10 degrees of flaps, gear will come down. Basically, a thing with the 737... Where are we going? Oh no, FMC's not doing this to me again, is it? Hang on, delete. Oh, for crying out loud. Screw it, we're going to go normal for this. So, heading change. Done it again, where basically the aircraft's FMC will just go on its own magical adventure. Don't get any offence for that, but fair enough. Yes, you know what I'm talking about, Mike Sierra. We're going on our own trip again, so we are close to the airport. I'll just do this last bit manually, by hand. So down to 4,000, slow the plane down, and just get it into land at this point. I have got the ILS up as well, so if I can bring it onto approach, once I do get on the ILS, shouldn't be too bad. Again, we are on established and localized, so you just get an intercept point with the actual ILS itself onto the glide slope. So if I bring that to 1-3, no, more. There we go, aircraft is established. Alright, so now's a good time to deal with the airspeeds and everything. So that goes to 180. And the airplane will now bring itself onto the glide slope. There we go. In a moment we'll then go for gear down. Otherwise New York is a city. Should be... Okay, maybe the default scenery here is not so nice, but... the Guardia and New York is down to my right side. Sure, judge on me what you want. And I just remember half the time it's the autopilots that has cost me. For example, we should be aligning with the wrong ILS at this point. Nope, is that stuck? For crying out loud, hang on. Autopilot on, heading select. On. Let's do this again. Right, so gear down. What's going on? Coming into land, although this aeroplane doesn't like me very much. Or anyone by the sound of things. Right, so gears down, we're now on landing flaps. What's my aeroplane doing? I wish I knew myself, because we should be on the glide slope at this point. In reality, we're not. Just go for an altitude halt at this point now. Keep it 1,800. Level it off here. Right, we've got the runway in sight at least. Don't think the aeroplane does though. If I need to, I'll go into a manual approach. Which in this case may be a possibility. Oh no, there we go. Okay, the aircraft has got itself sorted. It's 140. Right, I'm going to minimise chat now. And we should get a approach now sorted. Final checks. Lights set, gears down, 3 greens. Flaps set. There we go. Now we're making approach. Love this thing, I really do. Note to self, get a better 737. Right, back on the glide slope again. Airport's just ahead if you can't see it. I have got a visual, we are now on final. Actually, we should announce that we're on final as well. On final at Kilo LGA. Right, so slight crosswinds coming in from the left. Otherwise, the aircraft should be able to deal with the majority of it. Shouldn't be armed, but I will. I just like the fact how this aircraft keeps increasing and decreasing throttle depending on where it's pitching its nose. Right, okay, it's deactivated itself. It just couldn't bear to live anymore. We are below glide slope. Well, 95, I'll accept that. Passenger applause. 60 knots, the water reverse thrust cut. And let's now leave the runway. Yeah, note to self, I love this aircraft. Right, so we'll stop it here, and let's do a clean up, shall we? So, stop the aircraft, and go for the setup, so those can come off. Flaps can go up, speed brakes up, that's set to off, landing lights off, and taxi lights on. Hang on, those up, and hang on, whoops. Here we go, here we go, the camera's gonna do its thing again, is it? Developer, sorry, plugins, fly with lure, stop that. I'll just leave it, screw it. Clear of runway. Way 22. Right, let's taxi to gate, shall we? I think now's a good time for me to quickly bring back chat as well. Right, easy to handle on FSX, yes, but that's because FSX is generally a little bit less realistic when it comes to this kind of stuff. With X-Plane, it simulates the actual landing of the aircraft, simulates the airflow of the aircraft. So when I said there was a crosswind coming into land, there was a crosswind, you could feel that. But other than that, we did just about make it to the centre line. And I'll happily accept a 95 feet per minute touchdown. And now it's going to do this on me where it won't ever increase the throttle. This aircraft will be able to taxi without... whatever, let's just get to gates. Again, why is this camera glitching so much on the ground? Did that when I was departing. It's doing that again when I'm now at gates, when I've arrived. I'm not looking up and down, yet for some reason this aircraft makes it look like I am. I can barely get around corners, which is also another issue, I guess, as such. I can barely get around corners. There we go. Let's get some speed now on the taxiway. Yeah, as you said, it's not bad for a freeware. Could do some improvements. I mean, they say FSX has a ground friction bug. At least you don't need 57% throttle when you're taxiing on FSX though. And the camera glitching is just something on its own. Yeah, you're spoiled by your planes you would buy. I'm spoiled by the fact I got the PMDG on FSX I keep using for a couple of months now. Which I'm just used to. Right, there's Delta there, so I'd assume this is the Delta terminal. Is the frame rate really that bad on the stream? Because I'm getting a solid 30 at this pace. I think, boys, OBS killing this again. Oh god, I'm looking at the stream now. Frame rate really is bad on this. I'm getting 30 on this. I don't know why we're getting 10, 15, no, even less than that. I'm getting a solid 30, as I said, on PC. Right, I do apologise for that then. The quality stream has just gone down the drain. Anyway, let's come up to the gate now. Just pick any one of these. Apparently my speed breaker's armed. In reality they're not. Whatever, just bring it to the gate, shall we? And stop. There we go, that will do. Just cut the engines. I can't be bothered to do this anymore. Just turn on ground power, bring power into the aircraft. We'd have wheel chocks and that kind of stuff set up. Whatever. Hang on, what do I get in the ground handling window? Push back, don't care. Request ground service. Can I open doors on this? Not sure if I can even open doors. Hang on, let me have a look at the thing. Might have a realistic kind of D-board. If we go to keyboards, door. Oh, I can apparently. Shift E. Rotating pattern yet. Shift E. Shift E. No, can I just do toggle, not open, close? Well, this is going to be interesting. Shift E. Shift R, what's that? Shift R is rotate, yes, fine. So Shift E and Shift R open that. Which doesn't matter anyway, because the door doesn't even open. You know what, I'm just going to abandon this simulator now. So, yeah, that was X-Plane 11. That was Delta Airlines 737-800 from Minneapolis to LaGuardia. And I think it's safe to say I'm going back to FSX after this. I mean, like I said, I will carry on trying to look at X-Plane in my own free time, not actual streaming or anything at the moment. I will carry on looking at X-Plane because it's something I do want to introduce to this channel. It's something I do want to try and bring in. But as a whole, I think I'm just going to have to leave it at that. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Do leave a like if you did. I think, hang on, that was impressive. After departing JFK, I think it may have been a crosswind as well. Otherwise, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, do subscribe, and I will hopefully see you guys next time. Might even do another stream later on, or might do one tomorrow. We'll see what my timing has. There's some good plugins out there for it, so I'll definitely have a look. There's some good mods out there. For example, the landing rate one's a decent one, again, 95 feet per minute. I'll accept that. But a few things I do need to work on, and we'll see how that goes. So, thank you guys for watching. Do like, do subscribe. If you're on Twitch, do give me a follow as well. Always the usual. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. You're a bit late, Red Nap. We have just landed as opposed to departing. Sorry, dude.